His mother's hand is cold in mine. So cold. The beeping of the heart monitor slows, each tone stretching longer than the last. I can feel him behind me, Nikolai Volkov, the most feared man in Moscow, and he's breaking. I hear it in his breathing, ragged and uneven. His mother's lips move, barely a whisper, and I lean closer. She's asking for something, asking for me to tell her something her son can't say. The room smells of antiseptic and dying roses, and I know, that what I do in the next 30 seconds will seal my fate forever. I shouldn't even be here. I'm not family. I'm not even supposed to exist in Nikolai's world. 2 weeks ago, I was his captive, collateral for my father's debts, a bargaining chip, nothing more. He's barely spoken 10 words to me that weren't commands, but yesterday, when the call came that his mother was dying, he looked at me with those storm-gray eyes and said one word: "Come." And like a fool, I did. Now she's squeezing my hand, and she's speaking Russian, and somehow I understand what she needs. What he needs, even if he'll hate me for it. 5 weeks ago, I was finishing my linguistics degree at Columbia, planning my PhD, avoiding my father's phone calls about his business troubles. I spoke 6 languages, but Russian was my secret. The one I learned because of a grandmother I barely remembered, because of bedtime stories in a tongue that felt like home. Then my father disappeared. Then they came for me. Nikolai's men, dressed in black, efficient and terrifying. "Your father owes the Pakhan $4 million. Your insurance until he pays." Except my father wasn't going to pay. My father was already dead, and I became something else entirely. A prisoner in a gilded cage. A problem Nikolai didn't know how to solve. Until this moment. Until his mother reached for me instead of him. Her eyes are closing now. The monitor's beep stretches into something that sounds like goodbye. Nikolai's hand grips the back of my chair so hard I hear the wood crack. He doesn't cry. Men like him don't cry. But he's dying inside, and she knows it, and I'm the only one who can give them both peace. So I lean down, and I speak to her in perfect Russian, the language he doesn't know I know, the language that will change everything between us. I tell her the words she needs to hear, the words he can't say. And when she smiles, when she takes her last breath with that smile on her lips, Nikolai's hand moves from the chair to my shoulder. His grip is crushing, possessive, desperate. He leans down, his lips against my ear, his voice shattered and raw. "You spoke Russian." It's not a question. It's an accusation, a revelation, a claim. And I know, right then I know, I'm never leaving this world alive. Want to know how a linguistics student becomes the Pakhan's obsession? How a lie of omission becomes a love worth killing for? Stay with me. I'll tell you everything. Starting with the night his men dragged me from my apartment. And I made the worst mistake of my life. I stayed silent when I should have spoken. "Hello, darlings. Yes, you heard that correctly. That's where we're headed tonight. To a hospital room in Moscow where a woman's dying wish and a secret language changed 2 lives forever. I'm Anastasia, and welcome back to Bratva Tales, where we explore the dangerous, intoxicating world of Russian organized crime and the women brave, or foolish, enough to love the men who rule it. Tonight's story is special. It's about Elena Morrison, a 24-year-old linguistics prodigy who thought languages were just academic puzzles to solve. She had no idea that one language, Russian, her grandmother's tongue, would become both her curse and her salvation. And Nikolai Volkov. Ah, Nikolai. Cold as Siberian winter, ruthless as a wolf, the youngest Pakhan in Moscow's history. A man who trusted no one, loved nothing except his dying mother. A man who thought he knew everything about the American girl locked in his penthouse. He was wrong. This is a story about secrets and sacrifices, about the words we speak and the ones we keep locked inside. It's about how a single moment of compassion can shatter a man's carefully built walls. How the right words, in the right language, at the right time, can make a monster believe in grace. So settle in, darlings. Pour yourself something strong. We're going deep into the frozen heart of Moscow tonight. And I promise you this, by the end, you'll believe that love can bloom even in the darkest soil. Let me take you back to where it all began. 5 weeks before that hospital room. To a cold October night in New York City, when Elena's world ended. I'm highlighting syntax structures in a Middle Persian text when my apartment door explodes inward. Not opens, not unlocks. Explodes. The wood frame splinters, the chain tears from the wall, and suddenly there are 3 men in my tiny Columbia University studio apartment. Large men. Men in black tactical gear who move like they've done this 1,000 times. I'm frozen, yellow highlighter still in my hand, hovering over the word for beloved in a dead language. How absurd that I notice this. How absurd that my brain catalogs the grammar of ancient texts while modern violence unfolds 6 feet away. Elena Morrison? The one in front speaks. American accent, but his eyes are cold in a way that feels foreign, feels Russian. My mouth won't work. I nod. You're coming with us. Who are you? You can't just... My linguistics training fails me spectacularly. I sound like every scared girl in every movie, and I hate it. He pulls out a photograph, my father, taken recently by the look of his gray-streaked beard. Know him? That's my father. I haven't seen him in 8 months. I stop. My father's import business has always been questionable. I've avoided asking questions because I didn't want answers. Seems I'm getting them anyway. Your father borrowed money from our employer. $4 million. He was supposed to pay it back 6 weeks ago. The man's voice is matter of fact, like we're discussing an overdue library book. He's disappeared, but you haven't. The air leaves my lungs. 4 million? I don't have $4 million. I don't have $4,000. I'm a grad student on a stipend. We know. He steps closer. I smell cologne and gun oil. Your insurance. Until your father resurfaces and pays his debt, you belong to the Bratva, to Nikolai Volkov. Pack a bag. 2 minutes. And if I refuse? My voice shakes. Stupid question. I know it's a stupid question. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. Then we carry you out in your pajamas. Your choice, Miss Morrison. They don't hurt me. That's the strangest part. One of them, younger, with a scar through his eyebrow, actually helps me down the stairs when I stumble. They've zip-tied my wrists in front of me, loose enough not to cut circulation. The black SUV waiting at the curb has leather seats and bottled water. I'm being kidnapped by professionals, and they're being polite about it. Where are you taking me? I ask as Manhattan blurs past the tinted windows. Private airfield. Teterboro. Scar Eyebrow is the one who answers. He seems almost apologetic. It's a long flight to Moscow. You might want to sleep. Moscow? The word comes out strangled. I can't go to Russia. I have classes. I have a thesis defense next month. I have... had. The lead man corrects from the front seat. You had those things. Now you're collateral. Maybe your father will pay up quick, and you'll be home by Thanksgiving. He doesn't sound like he believes it. Neither do I. The jet is obscene. Cream leather, mahogany accents, a bedroom in the back I refuse to look at. They cut off the zip ties once we're airborne. Still polite, still terrifying. I curl in a seat by the window and watch America disappear beneath clouds. My phone is gone. My laptop, my tablet, anything that connects me to my old life, gone. They left me my books, though, the 2 textbooks I'd shoved in my bag. Medieval Persian poetry and advanced Russian grammar. Russian. My grandmother taught me when I was small, before she died. Before my mother forbade me from speaking it, said it reminded her too much of loss. But I kept studying it secretly, fell in love with the complexity, the cases and aspects, the way it could be brutally direct or achingly poetic. I've never told anyone I'm fluent. It seemed irrelevant. I study dead languages, not living ones. I plan to focus on ancient trade routes for my dissertation, not modern Russian literature. But now I'm flying to Moscow, and I speak the language, and something tells me to keep that secret close. Trust nothing. Give them nothing they don't already know. I fall asleep over irregular verb conjugations and wake up to snow. Nikolai Volkov's penthouse occupies the top 3 floors of a glass tower in Moscow City. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the frozen Moskva River. Marble and steel and money. So much money it feels obscene. I'm shown to a bedroom that's larger than my entire New York apartment. King bed with silk sheets. Ensuite bathroom with a tub carved from black stone. A closet full of clothes in exactly my size. Mr. Volkov will see you tomorrow, the housekeeper tells me in accented English. She's older, grandmotherly, which somehow makes this worse. You need anything, you press button by bed. You don't leave this floor. Understand? I understand I'm in a beautiful cage. I understand my father has sold me to monsters. I understand I'm more alone than I've ever been in my life. He comes at dawn. I haven't slept, how could I? And I'm standing at the window watching the sun turn Moscow gold when I hear the door open behind me. I turn, and oh, photographs don't capture it. The intel I'd Googled on the plane, before they took my phone, didn't prepare me. Nikolai Volkov is tall, at least 6'4", and built like violence. Broad shoulders in a charcoal suit, white shirt open at the collar, no tie. Dark hair swept back from a face that would be beautiful if it weren't so cold. Sharp cheekbones, strong jaw, a mouth that looks like it's forgotten how to smile. But it's his eyes that pin me in place. Gray, storm gray, Ural mountain gray, the color of winter skies before snow, and completely, utterly empty. Elena Morrison. His voice is deep, accented, each syllable precise. He says my name like he's testing the weight of it. Do you know who I am? Nikolai Volkov. I'm proud my voice doesn't shake. Pakhan of the Volkov Bratva, the man my father owes $4 million he apparently doesn't have. Something flickers in those dead eyes. Approval? Surprise? Your father is a coward and a thief. He knew the terms when he borrowed. He knew the consequences when he ran. He moves closer, circling me like I'm a purchase he's considering. You speak English well for a linguistics student. It's a strange comment. Then I realize he's evaluating me, trying to determine my value. I speak 6 languages, I hear myself say. Anything to seem useful, anything to survive. English, French, Spanish, German, Farsi, and Middle Persian. I'm working on Sanskrit. I don't mention Russian. That secret stays mine. He stops in front of me, close enough I smell his cologne, cedar and bergamot and something darker. 6 languages, impressive, and useless to me. The words land like a slap. Your father hasn't contacted you? No, we're not close. If he does, you will tell me immediately. You will help convince him to pay. That is your only purpose here. Understand? I lift my chin, meet those Arctic eyes. And if he doesn't pay? If he's dead or gone or just doesn't care enough? For the first time, something like emotion crosses his face. Cold amusement. Then you become very familiar with Moscow, Miss Morrison, because you'll be here a long time. That evening, I'm summoned to dinner. The dining room is ridiculous. A table that seats 20, but it's just the 2 of us at opposite ends like some gothic nightmare. Staff serves course after course. Borscht, pelmeni, beef stroganoff, blini with caviar. It's delicious. I can barely taste it. Nikolai watches me between bites, those gray eyes cataloging every reaction. "You're not eating," he observes. "I'm not hungry. Eat anyway. I don't need you getting sick." I pick up my fork. I am not a child to be commanded, but I am also not stupid enough to provoke him on day one. "Tell me about your studies," he says suddenly. I blink. Why? I'm curious what knowledge is worth $4 million of debt. It's a cruel jab, but I answer anyway. What else is there to do? I study how languages die and evolve, how trade routes and conquests change the way humans communicate, how empires rise and fall, but words remain. Poetic? His tone suggests he finds it ridiculous. Language is power, I counter, surprising myself with the heat in my voice. It's how we build trust, negotiate peace, declare war. You of all people should understand that. Your entire organization is built on codes and loyalties and words that mean life or death. Something sharp enters his gaze. Interest. You think you understand my world, little American girl? I think every world is built on language. Yours is just more honest about the violence. The silence stretches. I've gone too far. He laughs. It's not a warm sound, but it's real. Human. Perhaps you won't be completely useless after all, Elena Morrison. That night, I dream of ice and wolves and gray eyes that see too much. I wake to shouting in Russian down the hall and my father's name repeated like a curse. And I realize, whatever hope I had that this would end quickly just died. My father isn't coming. And I've just become something far more complicated than collateral. The penthouse becomes my world. 3 floors, 42 rooms, I count them. Gym, library, office I'm forbidden from entering, a screening room, a ballroom that hasn't been used in years, judging by the dust. And everywhere, evidence of a life half-lived. Expensive things never used. Art on walls nobody looks at. Wealth that fills space but not emptiness. I find the library on day 3 and nearly cry with relief. Floor-to-ceiling shelves, and a quarter of them are in Russian. Pushkin, Tolstoy, Dostoevsky. I run my fingers over the spines when no one's watching and mouth the words in silence. My secret. The housekeeper, Irina, brings me meals, laundry, anything I need. She's kind but distant, careful not to get too close. I don't blame her. I'm temporary, collateral. She probably sees girls like me come and go. The thought chills me. Nikolai establishes rules through demonstration rather than discussion. Day 5. I try the elevator. It requires a key card I don't have. The 2 guards stationed by it don't speak English, but their crossed arms convey the message clearly. Day 6. I find the service stairs, make it down 2 flights before a hand closes on my shoulder. It's Scar Eyebrow from New York. His name is Alexei, I've learned. He doesn't hurt me, just steers me back up. Mr. Volkov says you can have full run of the penthouse. Just the penthouse. For your safety. My safety. Right. Day 8. I test boundaries differently. I'm reading in the library when Nikolai enters. He doesn't acknowledge me, just pours vodka from a crystal decanter and stands at the window. Phone pressed to his ear, speaking rapid Russian. I understand every word. He's negotiating an arms shipment, threatening someone's family. His voice never rises, never shows emotion, but the violence in his words is absolute. I keep my eyes on my book, English translation of Anna Karenina, safe and obvious, and don't react. He glances at me once, but I'm just the American girl who doesn't understand. My secret holds. 2 weeks in, everything changes. It's 2 a.m. when I hear it, a sound like something breaking coming from downstairs. I should stay in my room. I should mind my business. But I'm so desperately bored, so lonely, that even disaster seems preferable to another night staring at silk wallpaper. I find Nikolai in his study. The door is open. He never leaves it open. And he's standing amid shattered glass. A bottle of something expensive by the smell. His hand is bleeding, dripping onto the Persian rug, but he doesn't seem to notice. He's staring at a photograph in a silver frame, and the expression on his face. It's broken. That's the only word. This man who is ice and control and violence, and he's broken. You should go. His voice is raw. I should. God knows I should. Instead, I step inside. Your hand is bleeding. I know. Let me help. Niet. The Russian slips out, harsh and commanding. But I'm already moving to the bathroom attached to the study, finding the first aid kit under the sink. When I return, he's still standing there, still holding that photograph. I can see it now. A woman, dark-haired and elegant, laughing at whoever is behind the camera. She has Nikolai's eyes. Your mother, I say softly. His jaw clenches. Don't. My mother died when I was 16. I don't know why I'm telling him this. Brain aneurysm. 1 minute she was making breakfast, the next. I snap my fingers. I kept thinking I should have said things. Important things. But you never know when it's the last time. Silence. Then, she's dying. His voice is barely a whisper. Stage 4 cancer. Maybe 3 months. Maybe less. Oh. I set down the first aid kit and do something incredibly stupid. I touch his arm. Just lightly. Just a moment. He flinches like I've burned him. I'm sorry, I whisper. I don't want your pity. But there's no heat in it. Just exhaustion. It's not pity. It's understanding. I pick up his bleeding hand, and this time he lets me. I clean the cuts carefully, not deep, just messy, and wrap them in gauze. His hand is huge in mine, scarred and calloused, the hand of a man who has done terrible things. It's shaking, just slightly, but shaking. She wants to meet you, he says suddenly. I freeze. What? My mother. I told her about you, about my father's debt, about the collateral. She's angry with me. Says I'm becoming my father, treating people like possessions. He laughs, bitter and sharp. She wants to meet you, to make sure that you're being treated well. Are you asking my permission? His eyes meet mine, and for the first time I see past the ice. See the man underneath, scared and grieving and trying desperately not to show it. Da, he says. I'm asking. She lives in a mansion in Rubliovka, Moscow's elite suburb. All old money and new gangsters, Alexei tells me during the drive. The irony isn't lost on anyone. I'm terrified. I'm meeting the mother of my captor. The dying mother. What do you wear to something like this? I chose simple. Black sweater, dark jeans, minimal makeup. Respectful but not trying too hard. Nikolai says nothing during the drive, but his tension is a living thing. The mansion is beautiful. Classic Russian architecture, wood and stone, surrounded by birch trees heavy with snow. Inside, it smells like home. Like soup cooking and bread baking and life being lived. She's in the sunroom. Ekaterina Volkova is tiny, bird-boned, wrapped in blankets despite the heat. But her eyes, storm gray like her son's, are fierce and alive. Mama? Nikolai's voice gentles in a way I've never heard. He crosses to her, kisses her forehead, takes her hand. This is Elena Morrison. The collateral. Her English is good, accent thick. She looks me over with an appraising gaze. Pretty, smart, my son says. 6 languages. 5 that matter, I correct automatically. The 6th is dead. She barks a laugh, then coughs. Nikolai's hand tightens on hers, and I see his fear. Raw and real. Sit, child. Kolya, get tea. Let me talk to her alone. Mama. Nikolai. One word, but it's a command. Even a Pakhan obeys his mother. He leaves, reluctant, and I'm alone with this dying woman who holds her son's heart in her fragile hands. You speak Russian, she says. I go cold. Don't lie to me, I'm dying. I don't have time for lies. She switches to Russian, fluid and fast. You understood everything just now. I see it in your eyes. Why haven't you told him? My mouth is dry. I don't know. Smart girl. Knowledge is power, especially with men like my son. She coughs again, wincing. He's not a bad man. Do you believe that? I don't know what he is. He's a man playing the role his father forced on him. He's a man who thinks love is weakness. He's a man who will die alone and cold because he doesn't know how to let anyone in. Her eyes pin me. But he let you in. Just a crack. I see it. He kidnapped me. For your father's debt. Yes, terrible. Also, not personal. She waves a dismissive hand. Personal is what happened after. Personal is him telling me about you. The way his voice changed when he said your name. Personal is him bringing you here when he's never brought anyone home before. My heart is pounding. Mrs. Volkova. Katya, call me Katya. She leans forward. I'm going to die, Elena, soon, and when I do, my son will have no one. His father is dead. His brother is dead. He's surrounded by men who fear him and women who want his money. He's alone. Except, maybe, you. I don't want to be here. I know. She smiles sadly. But you are. And you have a choice. You can survive him. Or you can save him. Both are valid. But if you choose the second... She reaches out, takes my hand. Hers is ice cold. If you choose the second, know that he will fight you. He will hurt you without meaning to. He will push you away because he doesn't believe he deserves anything good. You'll have to be strong. Stronger than him. Can you do that? I'm shaking. I don't even know if I want to. Then figure it out, before I die. She releases my hand. Because once I'm gone, he'll be lost. And maybe you will be too. After that visit, something changes. Nikolai is... different. Not softer exactly, but present. He starts eating dinner with me regularly. Asks about my day. Brings me books from the city. Academic texts on linguistics I'd mentioned wanting. I catch him watching me sometimes, a question in his eyes he doesn't know how to ask. We're circling each other, two wary animals, trying to figure out if the other will bite. One night, I find him in the library. He's reading Pushkin, in Russian, of course. Your English is perfect, I comment, curled in the leather chair across from him. Where did you learn? Oxford. 3 years. He doesn't look up from the page. My father wanted me educated before I took over. Said the world was changing, and the Bratva had to change with it. Did it work? I run a multi-billion-dollar empire. You tell me. I mean, did you change? That makes him look up. What do you think? I study him, this complicated, dangerous, damaged man. I think you want to. I think there's a version of you that reads Pushkin and visits your dying mother and feels things you won't admit. But I think there's also a version that breaks bottles and makes people disappear. And I think both are real. Silence. Then, you're not afraid of me. I'm terrified of you. But you're still here, still talking to me like I'm human. Are you? His smile is sharp as broken glass. I don't know anymore. Moscow winter arrives in full force. The city disappears under snow. I've been here almost a month, and my father hasn't contacted me once, hasn't tried to negotiate, hasn't acknowledged my existence. Nikolai stopped mentioning him 2 weeks ago. We both know the truth. I'm not collateral anymore. I'm something else. Neither of us wants to name what. He starts teaching me about his world. Not explicitly, but I'm observant. I watch how he negotiates on phone calls, the ones in English or the ones he thinks I can't understand. I see how his men defer to him. I witness the carefully controlled violence that keeps his empire running. And I see the toll it takes, the nightmares that wake him at 3 a.m. The way he drinks vodka like water. The scars on his body he won't explain. One night, during a particularly bad storm, the power cuts out. Backup generators kick in immediately. Of course they do. But for 30 seconds, we're in complete darkness. I'm in the library. So is he. I hear his breathing change. Hear something that sounds like panic. Nikolai? I call softly. Don't. His voice is strangled. Don't come closer. But I do. I'm stupid and reckless, and I do. I find him by the window, hands pressed against the cold glass, breathing like he's drowning. I'm here, I say quietly. You're safe. You're in your library. The storm can't hurt you. I know that. But he doesn't sound sure. On instinct, I touch his back. Just my palm between his shoulder blades. He's shaking. What happened to you? I whisper. Things you don't want to know about. Maybe I do. The lights flicker back on. He turns, and his face is a mask again, but I've seen beneath it now. Thank you, he says stiffly. For what? For not asking more questions. But I want to. God, I want to know everything about this broken, dangerous man. The next morning, Irina wakes me before dawn. Mr. Volkov needs you. His mother... Her voice breaks. Please, come now. I throw on clothes and run. The hospital is cold and smells like death. And Nikolai is standing outside his mother's room, looking more lost than I've ever seen a human being look. She's asking for you, he says. I don't understand why, but she's asking for you. I take his hand, that scarred, violent hand, and squeeze once. Then I walk into the room where everything will change. She's so small in the hospital bed. Katya, who was fierce and sharp 3 weeks ago, has become a ghost. Machines beep around her. Monitors track her failing heart. But her eyes are open, and when she sees me, she smiles. Elena. Good. Her voice is barely there. She speaks Russian. Easier for her now, I think. Come close, child. I sit beside her, taking her cold hand. Behind me, Nikolai stands frozen in the doorway. He can't seem to make himself come closer. I don't have long, Katya says. But I need to tell him things. He won't hear them from me. He's too scared, too stubborn. But you... She squeezes my hand weakly. You he might hear. Mrs. Volkov. Katya, I'm not sure. Tell him I'm proud of him. She's crying now, silent tears tracking down her hollow cheeks. Tell him I know he thinks he's a monster, but he's my son, my beautiful boy. Tell him I love him more than life. Tell him... She coughs, wet and rattling. Tell him he deserves to be happy, to be loved. Tell him to let someone in before it's too late. I'm crying too. You should tell him yourself. He won't hear it from me. The things parents say never sound true to their children. She looks past me to where Nikolai stands. But from you, maybe. The heart monitor's beeping slows. A nurse rushes in, checks the machines, looks at us with pity. Not long now. Minutes. Katya's hand tightens on mine. Please, in Russian. So he knows. So he knows you understand. So he knows you see him. And I realize what she's asking. She's asking me to give up my secret, my protection, my one piece of power. For him. For this man who kidnapped me, who holds me captive, who I should hate. But I don't hate him. Somewhere in the past 5 weeks, in the dinners and the conversations and the broken moment in the library, I've stopped hating him. I've started seeing him. The monitor's beeping stretches longer between each tone. Katya's eyes are on me, pleading. Nikolai's breathing is ragged behind me. I lean close to her and make my choice. She says, I begin in Russian, clear and perfect, no accent, no hesitation, that she's proud of you, that she knows you think you're a monster, but you're her son, her beautiful boy. Behind me, Nikolai makes a sound like he's been shot. But I continue, holding Katya's gaze, speaking her words in her language, giving her this final gift. She says she loves you more than life itself, that you deserve to be happy, to be loved, that you should let someone in before it's too late. My voice breaks. She says you're not your father. You never were. You're better than him, stronger, kinder when you let yourself be. Katya is smiling through her tears. Da, she whispers. Da, moi sin, my son. The monitor flatlines. The sound is horrible. That single endless tone. Nurses rush in. Doctor, equipment, voices calling codes and numbers. But I don't move. I hold Katya's hand until it goes completely cold, until they gently tell me I need to let go. When I finally turn, Nikolai is gone. I find him in the hospital chapel. He's not praying. He's just sitting in the last pew, staring at nothing, and he looks shattered. I slide in beside him, say nothing. The silence stretches. Outside, Moscow wakes to a gray winter morning. Finally. How long? His voice is hoarse, wrecked. How long have you spoken Russian? Since I was 5. My grandmother. 5 weeks. He laughs, bitter and broken. You've been here 5 weeks, and you understood everything. Every conversation. Every phone call. He stops. Why didn't you tell me? Because information is power, and you had all the power. I needed something that was mine. He turns to look at me then, and his eyes are devastated. What did she really say? Those last words? Exactly what I told you. In English. I take a breath. Then I repeat it, in Russian, every word. His mother's final message, her final blessing, her final plea for him to let himself be human. When I finish, he's crying. Silent tears, the kind that hurt to watch. His shoulders shake, but he makes no sound. I don't think. I just move. I wrap my arms around him, this huge, dangerous man, and hold him while he breaks. He fights it for maybe 5 seconds. Then his arms come around me, crushing, desperate, and he buries his face in my shoulder and shatters completely. We stay like that until the tears stop, until he's breathing normally again, until the chapel isn't spinning with grief. When he pulls back, his eyes are red but clear. I should let you go, he says. Your father's debt. It doesn't matter anymore. I have enough on him to destroy what's left of his reputation. You can go home, back to Colombia, your thesis, your life. My heart clenches. Is that what you want? It's what's right. That's not what I asked. He stands abruptly, putting distance between us. What I want is irrelevant. You're not actually collateral. You never were. You were... He stops. I was what? An excuse? The words are ripped from him. My mother asked to meet you. I could have refused, should have refused, but I wanted her to meet you. I wanted you there. And that's not acceptable. You can't want your captive. That's not how this works. Oh, Nikolai. I'll have Alexei arrange your flight. Tonight, if possible. You'll be compensated for your time, your trauma, whatever you need to rebuild your... What if I don't want to go? He freezes. I stand, move closer. What if I want to stay? You don't. You can't. I'm speaking. I'm shaking, but I'm sure. And you're going to listen. Your mother was right. You think you're a monster. You think you don't deserve anything good. But I've been here 5 weeks. I've seen you negotiate with enemies and make men disappear and run an empire built on violence. And I've also seen you read Pushkin, visit your mother every day, have nightmares that you won't talk about, try so hard to be better than your father. I'm not better than... You are. You let me keep my secret. You could have tortured it out of me, found out I understood every word, but you didn't. You kept me safe, fed, educated. You've never hurt me, never forced me, never treated me like property, even when that's exactly what I was supposed to be. That's basic human decency, Elena. That's not... It's more than most men would do, especially men in your position. I'm so close now. Close enough to see the flecks of silver in his gray eyes. I should want to leave. I should be running for the airport. But I'm not. I'm standing here telling you I want to stay. Why? It's barely a whisper. Because somewhere between the kidnapping and the dinners and your mother's smile, I started to care about you. Because when you broke down in the library during the storm, I wanted to put you back together. Because when I held your mother's hand and spoke her words in her language, I did it for you. Not for her. For you. This is insane. But he's not moving away. You're traumatized. You have Stockholm Syndrome. You're not thinking clearly. I have a PhD level education in linguistics and psychology. I know what Stockholm Syndrome looks like. This isn't that. Then what is it? I don't know yet, but I want to find out. The air between us is electric. I can see him fighting himself. See the war between what he wants and what he thinks he should do. I make the choice for him. I kiss him. It's awkward at first. I have to stand on my toes, and he's frozen in shock. But then his hands come up to cup my face, gentle despite their size, and he kisses me back. And oh, it's not gentle. It's hungry and desperate, and 5 weeks of tension finally breaking. His lips are soft but demanding. His hands slide into my hair, tilting my head for better access. I grip his shirt and hold on because my knees have forgotten how to work. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. Elena? Don't. I press my fingers to his lips. Don't tell me all the reasons this is wrong. I know them. I've listed them in my head 100 times. I'm still here. I can't promise you safety. My world is violent. People will come for me. They'll use you to hurt me. Then teach me to protect myself. I can't promise you normalcy. I'm a criminal. I do terrible things. I'll continue doing them. I'm not asking you to be someone else. I can't promise you love. His voice cracks on the word. I don't know how to do that. My father beat it out of me. My world beat it out of me. I don't know if I'm capable. I smile, sad and sure. Your mother just died, and you're falling apart. You feel things so deeply you have to lock them away to function. You're capable of love, Nikolai. You're just terrified of it. He rests his forehead against mine. This is a mistake. Probably. You'll get hurt. Possibly. You'll regret this. Maybe. I pull back to look him in the eyes. But I regret a lot of things. I regret not telling my mother I loved her the morning she died. I regret not standing up to my father when I knew his business was dirty. I regret staying silent when I should have spoken. I'm tired of regrets, Nikolai. I want to make a choice, even if it's the wrong one. And I choose to stay. His thumb traces my cheekbone. You're insane. You're a mob boss who kidnapped a grad student. We're both insane. He almost smiles. Almost. Then he kisses me again, and this time it's softer. Sweeter. Like a promise he's afraid to make. 1 month, he says against my lips. Stay 1 month. After the funeral. After the grief. If you still feel this way, we'll talk. Really talk. About what this is. What it could be. But 1 month, Malishka. Give yourself time to think clearly. I am thinking clearly. You're thinking like someone who just watched a woman die and comforted her son. Give yourself time. It's reasonable. It's more reasonable than I expected from him. 1 month, I agree. But I'm staying in the penthouse. Not as collateral as a guest. He tucks a strand of hair behind my ear. As someone I'm trying very hard not to completely fall apart in front of. Too late for that. This time he does smile. Small, broken, but real. Da, he whispers. Too late. Katya's funeral is a strange mix of Orthodox tradition and Bratva power. The church is packed. Old Russian women in black, gangsters in expensive suits, politicians who pretend they don't know why they're here. And at the front, Nikolai, stone-faced and unreachable, giving the eulogy in Russian that makes even hardened criminals cry. I sit 3 rows back, appropriately distant. But when it's over, when they've lowered her into frozen ground and everyone is filing out, his hand finds mine in the crowd. Just for a moment. Just a squeeze. Then he lets go and disappears into a sea of black coats and condolences. Back at the penthouse, everything has shifted. I'm no longer locked in. The elevator works for me. The guards nod respectfully instead of blocking my path. Irina asks what I want for breakfast instead of bringing a preset tray. I'm not a prisoner anymore. I'm something else. Something neither of us knows how to name. 2 weeks after the funeral, I wake at dawn to find Nikolai in my room. Not threatening. Just standing by the window, watching me sleep. "You're still here?" he says softly. "Did you think I'd leave?" "I hoped you would." "Would be easier." I sit up, sheets pooling around my waist. "Easier for who?" "For you, because Elena." He crosses to the bed, kneels beside it so we're eye level. I'm trying. I'm trying to be the man my mother saw. The man you seem to think I am. But there are things happening. Threats. Rival organizations who see my grief as weakness. They're moving against me. And if you stay, you become a target. Then teach me to shoot. He blinks. What? You said I'd be a target. Fine. Teach me to protect myself. Teach me your world. Let me choose this with full knowledge instead of sheltered ignorance. You want me to teach you to be Bratva? I want you to stop protecting me from reality. I'm staying, Nikolai, whether you train me or not, so you might as well train me. He studies me for a long moment. Then he stands, holds out his hand. Get dressed. We start today. And my life, my real life in this dangerous, glittering world, finally begins. Turns out dating a Pakhan involves a lot of self-defense training. Alexei teaches me to shoot. Glock 19, compact and reliable. Don't aim for center mass like in movies, he instructs in his accented English. Too much room for error. Aim here. He taps his chest, left side. Heart. One shot, they're done. I try not to think about the fact that I'm learning to kill people. I try not to think about how natural the gun starts to feel in my hands. Nikolai teaches me knife work. Gun can jam, can be taken, he says, circling me on the training mat in the penthouse gym. Knife is reliable. Close quarters, knife wins. He's patient, demanding, but patient. And when we spar, when we're grappling and breathing hard and too close, the tension between us is almost unbearable. We haven't kissed again since the hospital. He's keeping his distance, keeping his promise to give me time. But I catch him watching me. Catch the heat in his gray eyes when I master a new technique. Catch the way his hand lingers when he corrects my grip. The month is almost up. And I've never been more sure of anything in my life. 3 weeks after the funeral, everything goes to hell. I'm in the library, reading, actually reading, not pretending, when Nikolai storms in with 3 of his lieutenants. They're speaking rapid Russian, and their voices are tight with anger. Dmitri's entire shipment seized, and 2 of our warehouses burned. This isn't coincidence anymore. It's the Kozlovs. Has to be. They've been pushing into our territory for months. Viktor Kozlov is too smart for open war. He knows the Volkovs are stronger. Not anymore. Not with the Pakhan distracted by his dead mother and his American pet. Nikolai's fist hits the table so hard, books jump. Careful. The lieutenant blanches. Apologies, Pakhan. I meant no disrespect to Miss Morrison. Then speak with respect. Or don't speak at all. Nikolai's voice is deadly quiet. Continue. What are our options? I'm not supposed to be here for this. I should leave, but I stay. I listen. I understand every word. And I hear the name Viktor Kozlov repeated like a curse. That night, I corner Nikolai in his study. Tell me about Viktor Kozlov. He looks up from the maps and files spread across his desk. You don't need to know. I do if he's threatening you. If he's threatening us. There is no us if you're dead, Elena. Then tell me so I'm not going in blind. He sighs, runs a hand through his hair. He looks exhausted. Viktor Kozlov, Pakhan of the Kozlov Bratva. My father's generation. Old school, brutal, smart. He and my father had an understanding. Divided Moscow between them. But when my father died and I took over, Viktor thought I'd be weak. Thought I was too young, too Western, too soft. You proved him wrong. I took 3 of his territories in 2 years. Made him look weak to the other families. He's been waiting for an opportunity to take them back. And my mother's death. His voice catches. He sees it as weakness, sees me as distracted. He's right. Then stop being distracted. Fight back. It's not that simple. If I move against Viktor openly, the other families will get involved. We'll have a war that destroys half of Moscow. Innocent people will die. So, what's your plan? I don't have one yet. He looks at me, and for the first time, I see uncertainty in those gray eyes. I don't know how to be the Pakhan my father was. Cold, ruthless, willing to sacrifice anything for power. But I don't know how to be anything else and keep everyone safe. I move around the desk, take his face in my hands. You're not your father. Stop trying to be. Find your own way. What if my own way gets people killed? What if it saves them? He leans into my touch, eyes closing. You complicate everything. Good. He kisses me then, soft and desperate and full of things he can't say. And for a moment, the war outside disappears. I should have known better than to leave the penthouse alone. But I'm stupid and reckless, and I want to feel normal for 5 minutes. So when Alexei is busy and the guards are changing shifts, I slip out to the corner market for fresh flowers. For Katya's photograph, which sits in the library now. A small memorial. It's such a simple, human thing to do. It nearly gets me killed. They grab me 2 blocks from the penthouse. Black van, 3 men, professionally done. Hand over my mouth before I can scream. Zip ties around my wrists. Bag over my head. I fight. God, I fight. I remember everything Alexei taught me. The pressure points, the vulnerable spots. I get 1 good elbow into someone's ribs, hear a satisfying crunch. Then something hits the back of my head, and the world goes dark. I wake in a warehouse. Cliché, but effective. My hands are tied to a chair. My head throbs. The bag is gone, and I can see concrete floors, metal walls, the smell of oil and rust. And Viktor Kozlov, sitting across from me like we're having tea. He's older than Nikolai, mid-50s, gray at the temples, expensive suit. He looks like someone's sophisticated uncle, until you see his eyes. Cold, calculating, dead. Miss Morrison, finally awake. Good. His English is perfect. I apologize for the crude accommodations. This won't take long. If you're trying to use me to get to Nikolai, it won't work. He laughs. You misunderstand. I don't want to trade you. I want to remove you. Nikolai Volkov is dangerous when he's focused. But with you, he's sloppy, emotional, weak. You're a liability to him. So I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to make sure he knows it was his fault for letting himself care. Fear tastes like copper. He'll destroy you. Perhaps. Or perhaps he'll finally stop pretending to be something he's not and become the monster Moscow needs. Viktor stands, draws a gun. Either way, you won't be here to see it. This is it. This is how I die. in a warehouse in Moscow, having made the spectacularly stupid decision to fall for a gangster. I close my eyes, and I hear gunfire. The warehouse explodes into chaos. Doors crash open, shouting in Russian, more gunfire. Victor dives behind a crate, returning fire. His men rush to defend. And then Nikolai is there. He's terrifying. I've seen him cold, seen him controlled, but this is rage incarnate. He moves through Victor's men like death itself. Efficient, brutal, unstoppable. He kills 3 men in the time it takes me to blink. Alexei is behind him, covering his 6. More Volkov men pour in. It's not a fight. It's a massacre. Victor tries to run. Nikolai catches him by the throat, slams him against the wall. The gun in Victor's hand clatters away. You touched what's mine. Nikolai's voice is barely human. She's a whore. A distraction. Nikolai's fist hits Victor's face. Once, twice, blood sprays. She's everything, and you tried to take her. Nikolai, I scream his name, terrified he'll kill Victor right here. Don't, please, not like this. He freezes, turns to look at me, and his eyes, God, his eyes are drowning. He tried to kill you. I know, but if you kill him now, you start a war. All the families will retaliate. You said it yourself. Is that what your mother would want? The mention of Katya breaks through his rage. His grip on Victor loosens slightly. You think I care about war right now? I care about you. You're bleeding. He hurt you. I'm alive because of you. But if you kill him, more people die. Innocent people. Find another way. It's the hardest thing I've ever asked of anyone. He stares at me for an eternity. Then he releases Victor, lets him drop to the floor. You're exiled, Nikolai says flatly. You and your entire organization. Out of Moscow by dawn. If I ever see you again, I won't hesitate. Understand? Victor, bleeding and broken, nods once. Get him out of my sight. Alexei and 2 others drag Victor away. Then Nikolai is at my side, cutting the zip ties, checking me over with shaking hands. You're hurt. Your head, it's bleeding. You need a hospital. I'm fine. Just a concussion. You're not fine. You could have died. Because of me. Because I let you stay. Because I was selfish and... I kiss him to shut him up. It works. In the car back to the penthouse, he holds my hand like I might disappear. I can't do this, he says finally. I can't ask you to stay in this world. Today proved it. You'll always be a target. Always be at risk. So teach me to be less of a target. Make me part of this world for real. Elena, marry me. He nearly crashes the car. What? Marry me. Make me Bratva. Give me your name and your protection and your status. Let me stand beside you, not behind you. If I'm Pakhan's wife, I'm not a weakness. I'm a power in my own right. You're insane. You've said that before. I mean it more now. But he's not letting go of my hand. Marriage in my world is complicated. It's politics, alliances. You'd be bound to me forever. I'm already bound to you. Have been since I held your mother's hand and spoke her words. Maybe before that. So let's make it official. He pulls the car over, turns to face me fully. I don't know how to be a husband. I don't know how to be gentle or romantic or... I don't need gentle. I need real. I need you, exactly as you are. I'll fail you. I'll hurt you without meaning to. I'll put work before you sometimes because that's how I stay alive. And I'll call you out on it. I'll fight with you. I'll speak Russian when you're being an idiot and think I don't understand. I smile through the tears streaking my dirty face. We'll figure it out together. He cups my face, thumbs wiping away blood and tears. You deserve better than me. Probably, but I choose you anyway. Elena Morrison. He says my name like a prayer. You terrifying, brilliant, impossible woman. If you're sure, if you're absolutely certain, then da. Yes, I'll marry you. I'll bind you to me in every way that matters, and I'll spend the rest of my life trying to deserve you. You already do. He kisses me then, and it's different from all the other kisses. It's a promise, a commitment, a beginning. I love you, he whispers against my lips. Russian, so I'll know he means it in his soul. Я тебя люблю. I don't know how it happened, but I love you. You're mine and I'm yours, and God help anyone who tries to change that. Я тоже тебя люблю, I whisper back. I love you too. His sharp intake of breath tells me he finally understands. Finally realizes the gift I've been giving him all along. The ability to be fully himself, fully known, with someone who sees everything and chooses him anyway. Forever, Malishka, he murmurs. You're mine forever. And you're mine, I reply. No taking it back now. Wouldn't dream of it. And so, darlings, Elena Morrison became Elena Volkova. They married 3 weeks later. Small ceremony, Orthodox church, with Alexei as best man and Irina crying in the front row. Elena wore her grandmother's wedding shawl and spoke her vows in flawless Russian, and every gangster in that church understood. This was not a woman to underestimate. She learned the business, learned to negotiate, to command, to stand beside Nikolai as an equal. She used her gift for languages to forge alliances with international organizations. The American Pakhan's wife, who spoke 8 languages and remembered everyone's names, became a legend in her own right. Did they live happily ever after? Well, this is the Bratva, darlings. They lived. They fought. They faced down rivals and betrayals and the constant weight of the crown Nikolai wore. But they faced it together. And on the nights when the nightmares came, when the violence of their world became too much, they held each other in the dark and remembered. Sometimes love doesn't save you from the monsters. Sometimes love is choosing to stand with the monster and love him anyway. 3 years later, Elena gave birth to a daughter. They named her Ekaterina, after the woman who brought them together. And when that little girl was old enough to understand, Elena told her stories in Russian about the grandmother she never met. About the power of words. About speaking truth even when it's terrifying. About how sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stay. So what did you think, darlings? Let me know in the comments if you'd like to hear more stories from the Volkov Bratva. Maybe Alexei's story next? Or perhaps you'd like to hear about the rival Pakhan who tried to win Elena's loyalty. The world of Bratva tales is vast and dark and full of dangerous love stories waiting to be told. Until tomorrow night, darlings, sleep well and dream of dangerous men and dangerous love. This is Anastasia, signing off.